Welcome to the Mutiny Report. I'm Fletcher Christian. This is what it feels like to be alive right now. Let's talk about this autism level cognitive dissonance on the national stage. When your government no longer has to shout, it just quietly nudges your institutions and then acts shocked that people think they're censoring speech. Stephen Colbert, I'm not a huge fan, goes to interview a Democratic lawmaker who's openly running against Christian nationalism. A guy named James Talarico. I think I'm saying that right. A Christian himself. A guy saying, hey, maybe God doesn't need a political party in a surveillance state. And suddenly, magically, CBS, or what I like to call the comfy billionaire suite, decides that interview can't air. Not because it's obscene, not because it's violent, not because it's false. No. Not because some lawyers got nervous. Because the FCC started asking questions. Because Trump's administration has been poking at networks like a mob boss tapping a baseball bat into his palm. And CBS went, oh, you mean like that? So they pulled it. They didn't say we're censoring this. They said we're reviewing compliance. Give me a fucking break. Which is government corporate speak for please don't hurt us. That's not journalism. That's hostage negotiation. And the wild part, they still let Colbert post it online. So the interview gets millions of views. Because every time institutions try to bury something, the internet digs it up and throws a parade on top of it. You think they'd have learned that by now. But no. They're still playing 1994 rules in a 2026 information war. Now the FCC says, we're not censoring anything. Of course you're not. You're just opening investigations. You're just reminding networks who controls licenses. You're just whispering, nice broadcast empire you've got there. Shame if something happened to it. Totally different. Meanwhile, the same administration that screams free speech every time a billionaire gets banned from Twitter is suddenly very interested in regulating comedians. That's not irony. It's branding for evangelicals. And look, this isn't just about Colbert. This is about the environment. This is about what happens when corporations realize that keeping regulators happy matters more than telling the truth. And it's not even regulators. It's fucking Trump. It's his administration. It's their agenda. It's literally authoritarian, period. So they start pre-censoring. They start trimming edges. They start softening language. They start asking, is this worth the trouble? And eventually, they stop asking anything at all. That's how you kill speech in a democracy. You don't ban it. You price it out. You intimidate it. You say it's fake news when it doesn't fit your fucking, worldview. You make it inconvenient. You zoom out. Because this isn't happening in isolation. We're watching the Epstein files get slow-walked and redacted like a ransom note written by cowards. We're watching Israel criticism get labeled dangerous while bombs get labeled defensive. We're watching whistleblowers disappear while war profiteers get consulting gigs. We're watching the same people who told us trust the institution suddenly tell us don't ask questions. And somehow, every time, the answer is relax. This is normal. No, it's not fucking normal. It's normalized. Big fucking difference. We've been pulling this thread for years. Every time we let them censor just one thing, every time we say, well, that doesn't affect me, every time we shrug and scroll, we pull and pull and pull. Until suddenly we're standing naked in a pile of propaganda wondering what the fuck happened to our underwear. And then they blame us for being cold. Trump didn't invent this system. He just ripped off the mask. He took what used to be quiet influence and turned it into performance art. I don't know if it's art, some kind of fucking thing. He made corruption loud. He made intimidation public. He made authoritarianism tacky. And somehow that made people think it wasn't dangerous anymore. Because it looks stupid. Newsflash. Stupid can still be lethal. Especially when it's backed by money, media, and military budgets, and a bunch of crazy evangelicals. What we're watching right now is just preemptive obedience. Corporations trying to guess what power wants before power even asks. That's how empires rot. And believe me, they asked anyway. Not from rebellion, from fucking compliance. From executives who'd rather apologize later than stand now. From lawyers who run newsrooms. From journalists who have to clear truth with accountants. And here's the sickest fucking part. They still sell it as balanced. They say we're just being fair. No, you're not. You're being a pussy. Excuse me. And careful is the enemy of honest. Because honest gets you audited. Honest gets you investigated. Honest gets you labeled controversial. So they trade it in. And we're left with a country where comedians are braver than the networks, where YouTubers do more journalism than cable news, where leaked PDFs tell more truth than press conferences. And people wonder why nobody trusts anything anymore. This isn't confusion, it's design. Flood the zone, blur the lines, punish the bold, reward the obedient. Then stand back and say, why is everybody so cynical? Because we're watching the magic trick in real time. We're not fucking clapping anymore. We're tired, we're angry, and we're paying attention. And that's what scares them the most. Not violence, not protests, awareness. Awareness. Because once people stop and see the strings, the puppets stop working. So yeah, this Colbert thing matters. Not because he's special, because it's a signal. And it's happened to him before. It's happened to Jimmy Kimmel. It's the system saying we'd rather be safe than free. And that's a losing strategy for any society that wants to stay alive. We don't need perfect institutions. We need fucking brave ones. We don't need neutral platforms. We need honest ones. We don't need permission to tell the truth. We need the spine to do it anyway. Because if we keep pulling this thread, pretending it's harmless, pretending it's just politics, pretending it's somebody else's problem, one day we're going to wake up in a country where nobody's allowed to say why. And everyone's pretending they don't know how it happened. Stay loud, stay human, and for fuck's sake, stay mutinous. Mutiny out.